The notion of agency, that we're not bystanders in the world. It's decisions, not conditions, that determine our fate and future. And that fundamental notion of agency, I think, is important more broadly. And I think that goes to some of the issues around, victimization. And I see a lot of that, respectively, on the right, increasingly, even with Trump often approaching things from that sort of mind.
Gavin Newsom walks in like California's version of James Bond. Smooth, confident, and using enough hair gel to survive a storm. He acts untouchable, enjoying the spotlight like it belongs to him. Then Tyrus steps in, a huge man with the strength of a linebacker and the power of a truth bomb. When Tyrus speaks, even the cameras seem to stop. This isn't just criticism. It's a roast so sharp it could cut deep. And trust me, things are about to get explosive.
The myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
California looks like the perfect American postcard. Sun, beaches, and endless glamour. A place where mornings begin with waves and nights shine under rooftop lights, with kale smoothies in hand. But look past that shiny image, and things change fast. The so-called Golden State starts to feel less like paradise and more like a wild Netflix documentary going out of control.
Go back and watch the tape.
Yes!
He literally goes, I want some of this, then you do some of this. And I'll do some of that back to you, and then we'll do this, and then I'll pay you, and then we'll do it again.
True.
And then she kept saying, no. Okay, how about this? You do this one first, then we do this one, then we give a little back and forth.
The streets now look like something from Mad Max. Taxes hit harder than a heavyweight punch, and people are leaving the state like it's an Olympic race. In the middle of all this chaos stands Gavin Newsom, looking like he just stepped off a GQ cover. Perfect hair, perfect smile, and seemingly no clue. While everyone else struggles, he stays untouched, acting like the problems around him are just background noise for his next photo shoot.
Tyrus, did he leave out anything? I think there's about 100 other reasons too.
Well, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
He gives speeches like he's starring in a Hollywood movie. Dramatic pauses, big hand gestures, and a confident grin that says, "Trust me, I've got this." But here's the twist. While Newsom plays California's leading man, the whole show has turned into a blooper reel. Homelessness keeps growing, businesses are leaving like there's an emergency, and regular people wonder why they're paying Beverly Hills prices to live in what feels like a Gotham City sequel.
I'll be in the car.
Yes, I think you've done enough this evening. You can take the rest of the week off.
Thank you.
Charlie,
We've all been there, right?
Yes, we have. Yeah, it's noisy in the city.
Every time I look, I just see him going. Sorry.
You know, another option it could be, because he's doing the whole rebrand with the podcast and he's trying to.
Then Tyrus steps in, and that's when the real show begins. He isn't here to sugarcoat things or follow a script. He delivers raw truth like a heavyweight punch. Where Newsom brings polish, Tyrus brings grit. Where Newsom shows off his hair gel, Tyrus brings reality checks. Picture Newsom stepping into the spotlight, chest out, hair shining, and bragging about California's progress. Meanwhile, San Francisco and Los Angeles, once shining cities, now look like scenes of misery. Tyrus doesn't hide the truth. He cuts straight through the illusion. How can America's so-called paradise look like a real-life zombie movie? Newsom promised utopia, but what he delivered feels more like The Walking Dead.
Or he's negotiating with the deaf prostitute.
Yeah.
Let's just stick with that.
Yeah.
More likely.
Yeah.
Maybe you can fix California while you stop by. 2 shows, you should be able to do that.
Hey, you know what? Real funny. So the other night, I got like 2 weeks 3 weeks ago, time flies when you work. I get a text at 2 o'clock in the morning from the president who says, "Hey, bro, I just filled California up with water. Governor's pissed," and sent pictures, LOL post. Who doesn't love this president?
Let's talk business. California was once a leader in innovation, with Silicon Valley, Hollywood, and Napa Valley. It was the dream state. But under Newsom's leadership, companies are leaving faster than contestants realizing The Bachelor still lives with his parents. Headquarters disappear, jobs are lost, and businesses are moving to Texas, Florida, and even Nevada. Imagine choosing desert heat over California taxes. That says a lot. Tyrus calls it out, saying what many people are thinking. If people are running from paradise, maybe it isn't paradise anymore. Remember when Newsom told everyone to stay home, wear masks, and sacrifice for the greater good? Regular Californians were saving toilet paper, cutting their own hair, and attending funerals on Zoom, while Newsom was drinking wine with lobbyists under golden chandeliers like he was in The Great Gatsby.
Back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending. I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
Ew.
And then, look, he's blinking. And then eventually, the camera guy, realizing that he's signaling him, so he gets appalled, leans back, camera comes down, and then we're back to this. I'll do this for you. You do this for me a little. So he's saying whatever he's going to say. There it is. See? They couldn't hold him back. He's like, I'm not on film. Oh, I'm not. Nope.
That dinner became the perfect symbol of his leadership. Rules for the people, perks for the king. Tyrus doesn't just mention it, he mocks it with sharp humor. He paints the scene so clearly, you can almost hear the silverware. While regular people ate reheated pizza in sweatpants, Newsom was sipping fine wine and saying, "We're all in this together." The hypocrisy feels almost like a stage show. But Tyrus doesn't stop there. He doesn't need poll numbers or scripted sound bites. He simply points out the problems: rising homelessness, increasing crime, and painful gas prices. California no longer feels like a dream. It feels like a punishment. People listen because he isn't just using statistics. He's describing real life and telling hard truths with humor and honesty.
Well, speaking of full I'm sorry, I'm confused. He's still governor, right?
Yes.
So he could do something about it. That's the most irritating thing, is like, why did anyone say with a follow-up where he's like, the homeless situation is ridiculous? Follow-up question, aren't you governor?
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. That's the difference between the radical left and President Trump. He'll talk about something as it's.
The fallout is priceless. On one side, everyday people nod along, happy that someone finally said what they've been thinking for years. On the other, critics rush to defend Newsom or dismiss Tyrus as just an entertainer. But here's the irony. When a guy known for body slams makes more sense than the man running America's biggest state, that says a lot. Tyrus doesn't need fancy data or political polish. He just looks at the damage and says what many people already feel. This isn't working. Newsom keeps selling California as a shining example of progress and opportunity. But take one step off Rodeo Drive and the illusion falls apart. The roads are cracked, the lights are dim, and the future looks like it's being held together with duct tape and denial.
He's playing with us. Meet me at my house. You get mine. I get yours. It'll work out.
Paul, are they capable of soul searching? It feels like the party itself has no soul.
Yeah, I know, they have no soul. You know, it's a really interesting statement. If you just kind of, you can break it in two. He spends the whole first part of that saying, we lost because this. Essentially what he says is, folks, we were on the wrong side of every issue last.
Tyrus cuts through the glossy image like a blade. He isn't impressed by beach drone shots or fancy skylines. He looks at what they don't show. Tents under bridges, boarded up stores buried in red tape, and families choosing between paying rent or sleeping in a tent and calling it camping with benefits. And here's the punchline. If dysfunction were a sport, California would be the champion. Then comes the biggest symbol of hypocrisy, Newsom himself. It's one thing to lead during chaos and admit the problems, but it's another to act untouchable while enjoying luxury dinners as citizens can't even grab coffee without restrictions.
He's going to go up and say, listen, I'm going to sign an executive order to stop homelessness, and here's how we're going to do it. Bam, 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 done. The border, done. 5 days later, 99%, no one's crossed. They're standing at the border like, you go. No, that you go. Like, no one wants to go.
That famous dinner where Newsom sat with lobbyists at a Michelin-starred restaurant wasn't just a scandal. It showed pure arrogance. While Californians were told to cancel weddings, funerals, and even Thanksgiving dinners, he was eating truffle pasta like the rules didn't apply to him. Tyrus never lets that go. He brings it up like Exhibit A in a courtroom, the perfect example of rules for thee, not for me. People don't forget being fined over rules their own governor ignored. And hypocrisy doesn't just upset people, it makes them furious. Tyrus doesn't need to create drama. He tells the story so clearly you can almost see the chandeliers, hear the laughter, and picture the expensive menu while everyone else stayed home making sourdough. This wasn't just out of touch, it felt like a direct insult to the people he was supposed to represent.
Gavin, I know him very well. He's incompetent. He's a nice guy, looks good. Hi, everybody. How you doing? He's got some strange hand action going. I don't know what the hell is his problem. It's a little weird, to be honest. There's a little something shaky going on there.
I came into that recall campaign still arguing that all politics is local. I still had a romantic notion of that. I intellectualized that a lot of our politics and the discourse was national. I didn't fully appreciate how nationalized our politics have become. In so many ways, that shape-shifted a lot of what we're doing and who I am today. But this last year, these last 6-7 months, this is something altogether different.
That's what makes Tyrus's style so powerful. He's not ranting, he's making people laugh while they nod in total.
That's what makes Tyrus's style so powerful. He isn't just ranting, he makes people laugh while they nod along. Because when life gets this ridiculous, sometimes laughter is the only way to handle it. But behind every joke, Tyrus reveals the truth. California's problems aren't just numbers on a chart. They are daily struggles for millions of people. Rising crime makes parents afraid to let their kids walk home. High gas prices make a road trip feel like paying off a loan. Homeless camps are spreading through neighborhoods that once felt safe. That's the real punch. It's not about headlines, it's about real people. You can polish speeches all day, but results speak louder. And California's results are screaming. Tyrus shines a light on the problems people don't want to see, proving you don't need fancy words to tell the truth. You just need the courage to say it.
Yeah, his hands are just weird, though, Tyrus. They're always doing funky things.
Yeah, I thought it had something to do with the California budget cuts and stuff, since they didn't have a hearing impaired transitioner anymore. I'm not paying money for that. I'll do it myself.
Tyrus reminds everyone that California still has amazing beauty and huge potential, yet somehow it can't even keep the lights on during a heat wave. The state boasts about having the world's 5th largest economy, while families are moving to Arizona just to afford basic groceries. His no-filter style hits hard because he talks like the guy you might meet at a gas station, shaking his head at high prices and the governor's latest move. That's why Californians listen. He sounds like them. They live with this chaos every day, and when Tyrus says it out loud, it feels like validation. He doesn't just watch the fire. He points at it, laughs, and says what many already know. Maybe it's time to stop pretending California is America's perfect model. Maybe it's time to admit the glossy postcard isn't the whole truth. And maybe it's time for leaders who fix problems instead of posing for cameras.
So,
A little bit of bubble.
Yeah. Nice.
Could you imagine if you were the sign person for the TV going...
No, he reminds me there of, remember the guy who did the sign language at Mandela's funeral?
Oh.
That's why Tyrus's call-out hits like a hammer. It's not just politics, it's reality. No speeches, no filters, just raw truth with sarcasm and bite. He reminds everyone that no matter how much spin you use, people can see what's really happening with their own eyes. The beaches are still sunny, but you may pass tent cities just to reach them. California still shines, but that shine is fading under the weight of taxes, crime, and chaos. Thanks to Tyrus, the cracks in the illusion are hard to ignore. He proves that leadership isn't about perfect hair or polished speeches. It's about accountability. And under Newsom, California seems to be running on vibes instead of vision. The saddest part? Nobody is even shocked anymore. The scandals, double standards, and hypocrisy have become just another Tuesday in the Golden State.
I was in the White House. This was one of the first things I would do. Clean up your streets. Instead of sending our military men and women out to other places to make other countries safe, make our streets safe. How is this an argument? If you don't like it, what's not to like? Other than that you have to tip your hat to the orange devil. That's the problem. Then you know what? Find a way, like, make it your own. Like, no, you will not bring in 1,500 National Guards. We will only allow 1,200. And then call it a victory. Clean up your neighborhoods. Leave the politicians out to go out on the waterfront at 6 o'clock in the morning. But notice he wasn't filming himself.
When Tyrus unloads, the illusion falls apart. His comedy makes the truth easier to hear, but the sting remains after the laughs are gone. And here's where it gets interesting. If Tyrus can tear down Newsom's shiny image with a few sharp words, what happens when others speak up too? What happens when the Hollywood gloss fades and all that's left are broken promises, empty stores, and leaders more focused on branding than people? California may still look perfect on Instagram, but Tyrus removed the filter, and now the unedited version is hard to ignore. Once the illusion is gone, speeches can't rebuild it. Californians aren't buying the fantasy anymore. They're living the reality every day. Tyrus says what many have been whispering. The dream is cracked, the mask is slipping, and the truth is out. His blunt honesty cuts deeper than campaigns or press releases because it feels real. And if one voice can shake California's golden image this much, imagine what happens when more people speak up. The cracks spread, and suddenly California isn't the dream anymore. It's the warning. Tyrus didn't create the chaos. He simply pulled back the curtain, and now everyone can see what was hiding behind it.
Well, speaking of full isn't it? I'm sorry, I'm confused. He's still governor, right?
Yes.
So he could do something about it. That's the most irritating thing, is like, why did anyone say with a follow-up where he's like, the homeless situation is ridiculous? Follow-up question, aren't you governor?
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. That's the difference between the radical left and President Trump. He'll talk about something as it's.
So here's where it all lands. The illusion is gone, the shine is cracked, and the truth is standing in full daylight. Tyrus didn't rewrite California's story. He simply read it out loud, page by page, in a way no politician could. His mix of humor and hard truth cuts through the noise and forces people to face what has been ignored for too long. Newsom can't charm his way out of it anymore. The photo ops, rehearsed smiles, and perfect magazine image all fall apart under reality because people now see it for what it is, a glossy performance hiding a failing story. That's the power of Tyrus. He doesn't need to shout. He just says what's real, and it hits harder than any speech. The audience laughs, but deep down they know it isn't a joke. It's the truth dressed in sarcasm. California still calls itself the Golden State, but the gold is fading, and the cracks are showing. Tyrus didn't just roast a governor. He exposed a system that has been running on empty for too long. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. The stage lights have dimmed, the curtains have fallen, and the spotlight is now on reality. And it's not pretty.